Welcome back to Sonic Generations HD. Let's finish off the Dreamcast era with the missions, the rival fight, and the boss fight.
Do we have to?
Yes, we do, Gareth. It's a playthrough after all.
Oh. I was hoping this would be one of those playthroughs that loses steam and doesn't update ever again, and people are just like, what happened to this part? You're like, oh, fucking no.
No, that's Sonic movies.
Well, Gareth, today you're going to learn the true definition of the Sonic cycle. It's not that people praise a Sonic game before release and it turns out to be shit. It's that you start a playthrough of NTOM and you never escape.
I've been stuck in that cycle for 5 years. Trust me, I know all about it. No, I love this challenge. One, because it remixes the Emerald Beach theme from Sonic Battle. Two, just because you spend this entire level beating the shit out of SPO. It's amazing.
And this mission's made all the more entertaining by the fact that Troy Baker, who voices SPO, really puts oomph into those pained cries.
I would expect him to have really good pained cries because he only has a handful of things that he says.
Okay, but the main thing is you have to hit these spotlights back and forth that blind him for some reason, and then you get the home and attack his face. And what's nice is that for some reason there's this really over the top sound effect whenever you hit him, which doesn't make any lick of sense, but it's fucking hysterical.
Well, I guess he has a high tolerance for pain, but, you know, not bright light shining in his face. He's a bit of a wuss, really.
He is the worst ninja if a bit of light makes him go, oh shit, I'm blinded!
To be fair, that's a really bright light. I can't even look at it right now.
Sonic's down today, it ain't caused him to be blinded. And he hasn't had any ninja training.
You do have a point there, but I hate you.
Get out of that one, yeah, that's what I thought, Captain Sex Appeal.
Stop referencing unused takes.
I'm no expert in chameleology, but I'm pretty certain that chameleons replicate their environments, not go completely invisible, or be ninjas.
No, actually, what the thing is it's actually, people think he's a chameleon, he's actually a mogwai. So being blinded in, that fucks his face, ah, bright light, bright light! That's why you never see SPO eat any food, because if he does, he'll turn into a gremlin.
Again with the gremlins, Gareth.
That's the plot of Knuckles Chaotix 2.
I actually kind of like Knuckles Chaotix. It's a bit of a guilty pleasure for mine. You know, how you can make different teams and whatnot.
Okay, I'm gonna cut you off, Tom, but Sonic Crackers is the best game ever.
What the fuck?
But seriously, let's discuss the logics of invisibility here.
You mean logistics of invisibility?
Shut up! The logics of my grammar. SPO can go invisible, but he can also turn his clothes invisible. Does it also mean he can turn objects invisible? Like, could he just touch this city and just, like, turn the whole thing invisible?
This is a video game, not DC Comics.
I'm just trying to figure it out, Tom.
Well, Stephen, all the logic I think you need is that SPO is clearly ready to go, and that's how he gets the job done. Okay, next up on the mission agenda is a hard mode version of City Escape. Let's do this.
You know, it's something I realized the other day. The biggest problem with this level, going back to SA2 and this version, is that it's called City Escape. There's a song that plays Escape from the City. At the end of the level, Sonic has actually failed to escape from said city. He's still inside the city. Sonic's a fuck up. He can't do nothing right.
My mind is just blown. Okay, the purpose of this mission, like I said, is just basically to get to the end of the level without dying, but they've made it harder in the fact that you can't pick up any more rings. You've got Chow, which will give you rings if you press the Y button, but there's none to be found in the stage itself, so you gotta use them sparingly. And of course there's things along the way like extra enemies, buzzsaws here and there placed in very inconvenient locations, and those Chow aren't limitless, so you gotta be careful. Luckily though, in regards to at least getting a high rank, there's clocks dotted here and there which you can pick up to give you a time boost.
And the music you're listening to right now is the inferior version of the main theme to Sonic 3D Blast, and by inferior I mean Saturn version.
I'll be honest with you, I was never a big fan. I mean, I don't mind the Saturn soundtrack, but I was never a big fan of this theme. This is actually, it's kind of like an instrumental version of "Cause You're My Hero," and I hate that song. That song is so bad.
There is nothing better in this world than Mega Drive for life, yeah.
Ah yes, the theme of the Hellfire cast right there. You may think you're going to run out of time and not get an S rank or anything, but there's a ton of clocks that you can get to extend your time, like right here. Bada bing, cheating.
Better big cheating. Ah, genius.
I know a thing or two about that.
It's funny because for once I didn't say it.
Okay, there's just one more mission to go in this video, and I think we're going to need some appropriate music for this one.
Uh-oh. Is it what I think it is?
That's right, Sky. We're going to put on Toxic Caves from Sonic Spinball.
Yes, fuck that game, but I love the soundtrack.
Thank you. Tom, I take back everything I said about you.
I love this kind of like MIDI Genesis remix, whatever you want to fucking call it. It's amazing.
Now, I'm not just putting it on because it sounds good. It does sound good, but it goes beautifully with this mission. I just want you to listen to this intro. I'm going to give you a 10-second absence of leave.
That piece of junk robot is no match for my charms.
For once in my life, I'm kind of lost for words. You gotta seduce robots to win the mission.
See, Tom, now this is Sega catering to all sides of the Sonic fan base. You have the classic fans, and then you have the modern fans. But with this mission, you have the DeviantArt fans and the Sonic Passion fans.
Sonic Passion, yeah, buddy.
Basically, how this mission works is you have to use Rouge to seduce the robots because otherwise they are invincible. So make sure you're aiming at them, press the Y button to shoot out hearts or flash them or whatever, and boom, you can destroy them. Each robot kind of controls a different bit of the level, like the invisible platforms will become solids once you destroy a particular robot that's attributed to that section. So if you know which robot handles which part of the level, you can kind of speedrun, like I'm doing here.
Now, Tom, remember in an earlier part you talked about Howard Drossen? Now, technically, this is Howard Drossen's music, but he didn't compose it, so you're still wrong.
You know, Gareth, you could just let me have this. Just let me be right and also wrong. Is that so much to ask? You know what, forget it.
Huzzah for the shopkeep!
Yeah, Tom, you're actually doing an excellent job at this. I found this level to be very, 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 very hard. And speaking of very, very, very hard, let's just say Rouge could scratch my grounder all day.
A robo-boner.
Well, I know what's getting edited out.
Instead of bad Nick, it's bad Dick.
Dr. Robot Dick.
Oh, Jesus.
Snively, what color is my dick?
I don't see a dick, sir.
Exactly.
Okay, let's pick up the last key, and then we can head on to the rival fight of the Dreamcast era.
I hate the layout of this hub world. I really do.
Because again, I think in terms of the design of the Dreamcast era and modern era, like white space times, it's horribly laid out. I wish it would have been just a lot simpler to navigate.
Bad layout aside, at least we get to fight awesome characters like Shadow, #sarcasm.
The Shadow White Space Time remix, that kind of remix of Throw It All Away, I love. It's only like 19 seconds, but I freaking love it.
I don't get why people like Shadow because he's kind of just like a copy of Knuckles. You know, he has the mysterious past. He wants to be alone. Doesn't know where he's going in his future.
Well, the fangirls love the whole emo angsty deal. Personally, for me, the highlight of this fight is the fact we get to face Shadow in Final Rush from SA2.
In this nice little cutscene, this references the battle opening of SA2. As soon as people saw this, all the fans come playing. It's like, when it freeze frames, it's like, why isn't the moon blown up, and why isn't Sonic smiling?
The opening to Sonic Adventure 2 battle isn't canon. It's a separate timeline by itself.
Okay, the objective of this rival fight is basically just to pick up 2 of the energy cores that you see floating along the track before Shadow can do the same. If you get 2 of them first, you're going to not supersonic mode, where you've got like a more powerful boost, you get a really cool reprise of Live and Learn, and you've got a quick step left and right and knock the meteorites into shadow to slow him down, and you can finish him off. If he gets them, he'll go into not hyper shadow mode, where he can throw chaos spears and shit, and all hail shadow plays for some reason.
I really like the Cross 40 version of All Hell Shadow, but it sounds too heroic. And because you're fighting Shadow in this, it would have made far more sense for them to play Throw It All Away. But
Or I Am.
Yeah, I Am All of Me, exactly. Now, we haven't talked, I mean, again, in terms of boss fights, I think this improves on the original, both in terms of gameplay and music, because in the original, I hated that fight. It was, like, so annoying to actually hit him.
I'll use it! Chaos Control!
And the theme, again, it's by Circuit Freak. It's one of 3 remixes they did, and I think it just sounds amazing. Again, I was never a big fan of 4 True Story, but this one is just amazing.
Why are we so obsessed with this blue hedgehog? I just don't get it. Why are we so obsessed with Sonic?
Because you've gotta go fast.
No, it's not in Sonic Labyrinth. That's right, I went there.
Don't tempt fate, I'll record it. Don't fucking push me.
You can record it. I ain't sitting through it. I don't give a fuck. Do what you want, mate.
No, Tom, you gotta record Sonic Rivals first.
Everyone's asking for Rivals. Oh, and also a nice little point, no matter what order you fight Shadow at, Shadow always gives you the damn 4th Chaos Emerald. See, that is your wink and a nod to Shadow the Hedgehog. Unless, I would love it if that was just a complete accident on Sega's behalf. I was like, oh, we didn't mean to do that, but I'm sure, why not?
It seems a bit too convenient.
Skylar, ask Ken Baylor, but then I'm sure to say that nothing in this game was influenced by anything in the past. Every level with Ken Baylor's like every level in this game is 100% original. I don't know what you're talking about.
This is probably my favourite boss battle in the entire game.
Yeah, same here.
I love it because it's more of a mini level than an outright boss fight. Also, something that a lot of fans like to bring up is that this takes place like roughly 12-11 years after SA1, and it kind of just shows you that how powerful modern Sonic is in quotation marks. Because back in SA1, only Super Sonic could defeat this guy, but who needs Super Sonic when you got the almighty power of the boost?
Well, see, you could just argue that regular Sonic could have defeated Perfect Chaos, but he went Super anyway back in SA1. He's like, I have the emeralds, might as well do it.
Because Sonic was like, who do you think you are anyway?
Well, Adventure Sonic didn't have the boost, so he'd probably drown trying to run on the water.
Yeah.
Now, I love this redesign of Perfect Chaos, because back on the Dreamcast, he looked like a piece of shit. But on here, he looks amazing, and I believe that this is actually the original design for Perfect Chaos when we were planning Sonic Adventure. But the Dreamcast, as much as I love it, wasn't powerful enough to render something like this.
What's really weird about that is that they say the reason why Chaos is a water monster to begin with is that they wanted to do something that at the time only the Dreamcast could. So they did water, even though in-game he looked like shit. I don't understand though how hard it would have been to put this blue armor on his head. Like, I don't get why would that be so hard.
I want more bosses like this in the Sonic franchise that mix, like Gary said, actual levels with boss fights. It works so well.
What's weird is that in SA1 they say Chaos is made of water, but in Sonic X, Eggman says he's made of pure chaos.
Water is pretty chaotic, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, look at the fucking city. That is a wink and a nod.
I never liked this theme. You know what, in the original, it should have started with this theme and then segued into Open Your Heart in the second phase. I think that would have worked out better.
So Tom explains the game as if he would have made it.
And Tom Generations.
I do like the fact that they transition from Open Your Heart to Perfect Chaos Revival makes more sense than in the original.
Oh no, I put my brain in a very vulnerable spot. How dare you hit it?
Again, I wasn't a big fan of the original version of this song, but again, Sonic Carman knocks it out of the park with an amazing remix.
Also, Perfect Chaos takes the cake for longest death animation in a Sonic game ever.
I feel so bad for him here.
Look on the bright side, they're not using the same stock scream sound effect they'd been using for the last 5 years.
You know what they say, When thousands of people have died, just breakdance, and everything will be okay again.
All's well that ends well, right?
This playthrough's been fucking destroyed.
I hate this little montage right here. And I say that because the editing is worse than a playthrough by Entom.
Fuck you.
Hellfire Generations.
So I like the fact that while like the Sonics are going through the levels, what are the Tails doing? They're just kind of sitting there with their thumbs up their asses, doing what exactly?
Playing Sonic Shuffle.
Sonics. Right.
That's what I do when I play Sonic. I have one thumb up my ass and the other on the controller.
I like the fact that Tails is such a dick, he corrects himself. So, actually, I think you mean this. Like, fuck you, older me. it's nice to know in 10 years I've become a complete prick. Thanks for that, you knob.
The true story of Sonic Generations is Time Eater is an out-of-work video game actor, and he just wants to be relevant again, but these heroes just won't let him.
Already got a couple.
So basically you're saying that the Time Eater is the nostalgia critic. Interesting. So the time is like, I have to collect these KS Emeralds, but when I touch KS Emeralds, they kill me. Good plan, good stuff.
Okay, so Time Eater is the nostalgia critic. Does that mean he's controlled by classic Eddie LeBron and modern Eddie LeBron?
Oh my god, just stop right there.
Oh my god, that is amazing. Eddie LeBron Generations. We got, you can either play as a shit Mega Man fan film or a shittier Sonic fan film. The choice is yours.
Oh, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Well, we're done with the Dreamcast era of Sonic Generations HD. Next time we're going to be playing through the Mon era, which features levels from 06, Unleashed, and Colours. One of these things just doesn't belong, so please join us next time when we start things with Crisis City. See you all then.